Today is January 19th, 2026, the 40th anniversary of the first official Martin Luther King Jr. Day. For decades, this holiday has been about reflection, service, and honoring Dr. King's dream of equality. But this year, the mood is different. Tension and urgency have replaced quiet celebration. Americans aren't just looking back at history, they're confronting the struggles of today. The holiday has become a rallying cry, not just a commemoration. The question isn't just, what did Dr. King do? But, what would Dr. King do now? Activist groups are organizing a Reclaim MLK Day of action, arguing that remembering the dream isn't enough when it feels under threat. Traditional ceremonies continue, but a new wave of demonstrations is rising. The holiday feels less like a settled tradition and more like a battleground for the nation's soul. Why the change? The answer lies in the political upheaval of the past year. Recent government actions and policy shifts have shaken the foundations of civil rights progress. Many see a deliberate effort to roll back decades of hard-won gains. This isn't just fear, it's a reaction to real events that have made this anniversary a critical moment. MLK Day 2026 is no longer just a day of unity, it's a day of reckoning. To understand this tension, look back 1 year, January 20th, 2025, when Donald Trump was inaugurated for a second term, coinciding with MLK Day. The symbolism was stark, two clashing visions for America. Since then, the administration has aggressively targeted diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) programs, calling them discriminatory. Critics see this as an assault on the very principles Dr. King championed. The administration's rhetoric has been divisive, singling out black-led cities and authorizing controversial federal law enforcement actions. The result? A sense of siege in many communities of color, and a deepening divide between citizens and government. MLK Day is no longer just a commemoration, it's a day to defend Dr. King's legacy. The holiday has become a flashpoint for the anxieties and divisions shaping America in 2026. The tension is rooted in two sweeping executive orders signed by President Trump, aimed at dismantling DEI initiatives across the federal government. Agencies were told to remove references to systemic racism and implicit bias, pushing a merit-based approach. Critics argue this ignores persistent disparities and undermines decades of civil rights progress. The impact spread quickly. Corporations and universities scaled back DEI programs, fearing political backlash. Even long-standing events, like Indiana University's MLK dinner, were canceled under pressure. The rollback signals a fundamental shift. The government now sees proactive equality measures as the problem, not the solution. For civil rights advocates, this MLK Day is a fight to preserve basic principles they thought were settled. Policy changes are one thing, but rhetoric from the top has been just as impactful. In a recent interview, President Trump claimed the civil rights movement was harmful to white people, a statement that sparked national outrage. Civil rights leaders condemned this as a dangerous distortion of history. The movement wasn't about punishing one group, but extending rights to all. This reframing fuels division, making it easier to dismiss modern efforts for racial justice. It pits groups against each other, undermining Dr. King's vision of a beloved community. On a day meant to honor sacrifice and progress, the president's words have turned remembrance into argument. The meaning of the civil rights movement, and of MLK Day itself, is now fiercely contested. These changes aren't just political, they're felt in communities nationwide. In Minneapolis, an ICE raid targeting Somali immigrants ended in tragedy, confirming fears that harsh rhetoric leads to harsh action. The NAACP and other groups say MLK Day is now about safety as much as celebration. Fear has led to the cancellation of events, like a church service in Maine, over rumors of ICE presence. The chilling effect is real. People are afraid to gather, even to honor a man of peace. Maya Wiley of the Leadership Conference on Civil and Human Rights says the administration is trying to erase the civil rights movement. The core issues Dr. King fought for, healthcare, housing, jobs, are all at stake. For many, this year's struggle is not history. It's a present-day emergency. MLK Day 2026 is a reminder that the fight for justice is far from over. Even national holidays are being redefined in this climate. The National Park Service eliminated free admission on MLK Day and Juneteenth, replacing them with Flag Day and President Trump's birthday. Critics see this as an attempt to diminish the importance of Black history and civil rights. It's a symbolic move, but one with real weight, shifting the focus from collective reflection to nationalism and presidential celebration. This is part of a broader pattern, controlling the narrative by choosing which moments and figures to honor. Elevating Flag Day and Trump's birthday over MLK Day sends a clear message about priorities. For many, it's a slap in the face, a sign that Dr. King's legacy is being devalued. The decision adds another layer of tension to this year's holiday. Celebrating MLK Day now feels like an act of defiance. The battle is about memory, meaning, and who gets to define America's story. Despite these challenges, communities are responding with action. This MLK Day, advocacy groups like the Movement for Black Lives have organized a nationwide Reclaim MLK Day of action. Thousands are marching in cities across the country, demanding voting rights, police reform, and economic justice. Protesters are connecting Dr. King's legacy to today's urgent issues, insisting the fight isn't over. It's a return to the roots of the civil rights movement, direct, nonviolent resistance. Traditional celebrations continue, but with renewed purpose. The National Civil Rights Museum in Memphis is offering free admission, highlighting contemporary leaders who embody Dr. King's ideals. These events inspire hope and reflection, even as fear leads to the cancellation of others. The climate of fear is real. Some gatherings, like Indiana University's MLK dinner and a main church service, were called off. The fact that people are afraid to honor Dr. King speaks volumes about the seriousness of this moment. Yet, the movement persists, showing resilience in the face of adversity. MLK Day 2026 is not just a holiday, it's a call to action. The struggle continues, carried on by ordinary people every day. This year's MLK Day has sparked a fierce debate over Dr. King's legacy. Both conservatives and progressives claim him, but for very different reasons. Conservatives focus on his call for a colorblind society, using it to argue against DEI and anti-racism efforts. They say any policy that considers race betrays King's dream. Progressives counter that this is a sanitized version, ignoring King's later focus on economic justice and systemic inequality. They argue you can't achieve colorblindness without dismantling racist systems first. This debate isn't just academic, it shapes real policy and the future of civil rights. If King's legacy is reduced to colorblindness, it can be used to dismantle programs meant to help marginalized communities. If it's seen as a call for radical change, it empowers today's activists. The struggle over his memory is a struggle over America's direction. Even a revered figure like Dr. King has become a symbol of division. Both sides look at the same man and see a different hero. The fight for his legacy is the fight for the nation's future. As MLK Day 2026 ends, America stands at a crossroads. The holiday is less a celebration and more a reminder of how fragile progress can be. Deep divisions over equality, justice, and history have come to the surface. Civil rights organizations are fighting to protect hard-won gains as tools like affirmative action and DEI are stripped away. The fight now is to hold the line against regression. Yet, there are signs of hope. New activists, committed institutions, and passionate debate show the dream is still alive. The future depends on which vision of America prevails, one that ignores inequality, or one that confronts it head-on. This MLK Day has been a moment of resistance and reflection. What's at stake is not just Dr. King's legacy, but the very promise of America. The struggle for justice continues, and the nation's highest ideals are on the line.